welcome back. And it's still Breakfast Daily, and we're now getting to a conversation about an all-African Women Poetry Festival that's about to take place in a few days, and we're going to have a conversation about that. Emma Fusua has joined me in the studio. She is the founder of the festival, the All-African Women Poetry Festival, and we're going to find out from her what got her into this. You know, this is not just Ghanaian, this is all African. Emma, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Breakfast Day. How are you doing?
I'm well, yourself?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Now, talk to us about the genesis of this event. What brought it all about?
So in 2019, you went to Genesis, so
Yes.
we have to go all the way
Let's
back
do-
to the
let's go
beginning. But in 2019, a few friends and I came together and decided, okay, we need to have an initiative, a space where women can be given the platform to tell their stories as they would authentically want to tell it. And we looked around and every space didn't have that dedicated outlet for
Yeah.
women, and so the festival idea seemed like a pretty good one. Then on the back of promoting my book, doing the tour, I realized, well, there are actually really great stories all around the
Yeah.
continent. So why not bring everybody together in one space and give them a central experience? So
Okay.
yeah, we tried to reach out to as many people, and the journey has so far led us to this point where we're being able to pull that off.
Okay, fantastic. Now, the festival actually has some incredible supporters, and we have been joined on the line by Elliot Dade, who's the CEO of the KGL Foundation. Elliot. Hello, Elliot.
Hi, hello.
Yes.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Now, you are a big supporter of cultural events and, you know, the poetry and all of that. When the All African Women Poetry Festival came to your attention, what was it for you that said, look, here's another one, let's go for it?
Well, I think as a foundation, we're really trying to step into the arts and culture space a little bit more. I think all these organizations that kind of want to come in and give support, it usually tends to be with, you know, health, education, and all these different things. And that's not to say that these things aren't important, but when you look at art and literature and poetry, for instance, these things they're the backbone of a country, and they really do need that high level of support. So when something like this came along, where it's like you have poetry, you know, written by African women, telling the stories of African women, it's something that needs to be uplifted and celebrated. So I was really excited to come on board with this and just see the amazing stories that are being told. Yeah.
Right. I'll come back to you shortly, but let's talk about the event itself. First of all, let's talk about the personalities you have coming on, and then what you have packaged for us.
Right. So the festival is a 4-day event, almost a week-long celebration. And from South Africa, we have Emma Mabie. From Nigeria, we have Deborah Johnson. From Ivory Coast, we have Ami Slam or Amina Bamba. From Zimbabwe, we have Chioniso, and we also have representatives coming from Nairobi, Nyash, and we also have Ghana. We have 5 poets from Ghana, so Poetra, Nakiyat, Stephanie Ampofo, Apioko, and my very
Nakiyat Dramani.
Nakiyat Dramani
Wow.
will be there.
Wow.
And so we're not leaving anybody out of the storytelling. We want to hear it across all the generations. So those will be the poets performing at the concert, and we're privileged to have the second lady being our special guest of honor for the concert, and so that will be on the 27th. However, the festivities start from the 25th of May to the 28th of May. So from the first day we have workshops, and we have Professor A.C. Sutherland Adi and Dr. Ifwa Ansong, a professor in the United States, coming together to workshop anthology submissions that came in earlier in the year when we put out a call. So we had 62 submissions from 15 African countries when we put out the call for stories. And the theme we're considering was healing and healed, from a socio-political and a personal angle. And there were amazing stories that came in. You could tell the heart, the emotion, the depth, the rich cultural exchanges that were happening in all the pieces. And so 30 of those will be shortlisted and workshopped on the 25th and 26th. In between that, we have readings, panel conversations, other workshops, Finding the Person Called Me, which will be facilitated by Mami Sewa. All details on other specific events are on the website. They should be up by close of day today. But if you go there, you should see a few of that as well. And then on the 28th, so African Union Day is 25th. So that's how we are opening the festival with the opening concert and an exhibition at the Art Africa Gallery. So programming for that first day will be between the British Council and the Art Africa Gallery. And on the 28th, which is the Sunday that the festival closes, we're having a community outreach program to Jamestown. And what we're doing is engaging with the young girls and with some Kayayo ladies and giving out sanitary towels, giving out malaria test kits. We just want to make sure that we are looking at the theme of healing holistically. So from emotional, mental, social, whichever conversations and activities we can engage in to make sure that this theme is looked at holistically, we're making sure we're putting that effort in.
Healing and
Healed.
Wow, that's deep. So looking at it says All African Women Poetry Festival. Why not All African Poetry Festival?
It had to be specifically women because for me, I think or I believe that women tell the stories better. And also addressing the core fiber on which families and homes and societies are built on. It would be great to hear their perspective from how they see society at large, because if there's anything missing in society, then it means we've gotten something wrong with a woman. And so for me, that was a core we had to get back to. It had to be all African also because we're including the diaspora. So it's not only limited to Africans in African countries, but it is people of African descent as well. So it made sense to make it that inclusive on that level. So it's All African Women Poetry Festival.
Okay. So do you have, I mean, as a poet yourself, I mean, it's always nice to hear, you know, something from you. So do you have any pieces that you want to share with us?
David, I'm a freestyle poet.
You're a freestyle poet.
So I typically do not script my pieces.
Okay.
Which means that I create on the spot.
On the fly.
On the fly.
Are you serious?
I try to be that.
Really?
Yeah, so that's how my craft works.
Okay.
And I also work with it with random words. I can't generate it. I'm still working at being able to generate the words myself, but it would have to come from outside. So I need as random as it gets.
You need a provocateur, someone to stir it up for you, and then you go.
Yes, that's captured aptly.
Okay. So how do we do this?
Anything that comes to mind, as random as it gets.
I should give you any word.
Anything.
Really?
Anything.
Determination.
Okay. Make it more random. Objects, colors, anything.
Okay. Silver. Blue.
Okay. So we'll be working with blue, we'll be working with determination, and we'll be working with silver. Okay. Tell me the story of the sky above. Tell me its nuances and how it shifts and turns depending on what happens. Tell me what incites it to turn blue on a regular day and all of a sudden take on the dark. Tell me what stirs up the reds and the almost orange halos, if nothing but a determined element of nature seeking to tell its story. Look all around you. Count the stories, hear them recounted through elements in our environment, and why not have the woman herself tell it? For Mother Nature, we call her, is the carrier for all stories we seek to hear. And today, if we would look at her offspring, the beauty birth in blue seen in her baby, the sky, the determination within the songbirds that glide along, then why not have many others look at the silver lining that she presents, she will be the focus for which we draw our strength from and in turn remain determined to. Because at the end of this line, our silver line will be found in that blue sky. And even in the darkest of night, we will still find hope embedded in beautiful, obscure, tragic, strange, hopeful spaces.
Just I'm confused. Wait, it's almost as if you willed me to give you the words that you will use to put together the piece.
But you know this wasn't.
No, of course, I know.
That's how it works.
I just randomly, and I didn't even know I was going to give you more than one. I thought I'd just give you one and then you go with it. So I give you 3 random, just sitting here, words, and you just create this whole piece out of it. Wow.
I think what I do is trying to make meaning out of the randomness. And for me, that's a gift I do not take for granted. And being able to make meaning out of this is something I'm still discovering how that even works and how to wield it well. But as I do that, I hope that together more people can come, exchange energies, try to be on a space together that we are bringing the synergies together.
Talk to me about why you brought KGL on board.
KGL Foundation has done phenomenally in the space in a very short while, and their support of the art is incredible. And it is not, this is our maiden edition. Like, we started in 2019, but we haven't actually had a main event. And for an organization to believe that, we still haven't seen it, but we believe that there's something here to work with. For me, that sheer support is something to go off on. And knowing that Elliot has a love for poetry, he writes himself too. I know he doesn't know that I know this, but he writes himself too. And so I was like, okay, let's go for the heart. Let's try someone who understands this and gets the vision and is also doing something in the space to support women, to support the art, to support the literary industry as we have it. And for me, that synergy worked.
And so, Elliot, the next question comes to you. It's very easy. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I think there are many answers to that question, to be honest. It's just like, as I was saying before, literature, art, poetry, these things are really the backbone of our country. I mean, if you look at all these different resistance movements that are happening in the present, in the past, you have Palestine, colonial African countries. Literature was like a driving point, like a rallying point for so many people. And I feel like in this day and age, especially in our own African countries, literature is not really taken as seriously as it was back then. So I really want to be a part of reviving that, giving people a space, giving young women a space to share their stories, because I feel like oftentimes in society they aren't really given a platform to do that as often as they would like. So it's just all about empowering that, listening to amazing stories by some talented people, and the KGL Foundation, we would love to support more things like that. I mean, the arts is something that's really close to my heart, and just as a young person in Ghana, I want to see more of these things. It means a lot to me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for doing what you do and keeping this going. That's what I can say, because I think it's about time that we have strong players like the KGL Foundation putting their shoulder behind the arts in the way that you're doing, and thank you so much for that. So Emma, again, run by us the dates, venues, give us the scoop, and let's wrap this up.
Right. I think just a brief thing before I get to that. When he was saying why, I thought just came to mind that for most of the time, what we experience is poetry is seen as an afterthought in most programming. So you'd see that 2 days to a show, they're like, okay, let's get a poet. And then they just try to reach out for somebody. There's no commitment to making poetry the center stage. And we need to do that. So I think that that is one of the
I
reasons.
think we'll get there. You know, in many ways, that's been our story. You know, for a long time. That usually when you're doing the planning of an event, you think about everything else except the creatives and the arts. You know, and then they finally are like, oh, we don't have this. Okay, let's go and
Yeah.
can you come? It's tomorrow morning. Can you come? You
I
know,
know,
those kind of things.
like, yeah. So the poet needs to be celebrated because their role in society cannot be downplayed.
Yeah.
And so we believe that this will be that step in the direction of us getting there faster, where
Yeah.
we are celebrating poets, making them the celebrities of the show, ensuring that they have center stage and they are thought through properly. So from the 25th to the 28th of May, this festival, the All African Women Poetry Festival, is happening in Accra, Ghana. We're working with the British Council and the Art Africa Gallery. The 25th has workshops, panel conversations, and the opening ceremony. The 26th has workshops, panel conversations, and the inter-school spoken word competition, which involves 4 schools within Accra, and they will be coached by international speaking professionals. And then the 27th, we have the concerts, we have a literary therapy session, which will be happening. And then on the 28th, we have the community outreach, and it is open to all. The 27th, the concert is billed at 100 Citi, so you can get tickets off the website. But every other programming is free to attend for everybody, except the literary therapy session, which is solely for women. And so that is the only differentiations. But otherwise, everybody is welcome to attend any of the events as long as you RSVP.
Okay. And so, as you're saying, it means it's not necessarily ticketed. It's an open event.
Yeah,
for people,
the whole festival
but you
is.
have to,
Yes,
you
you'd
know,
have to
RSVP
sign up so that
you
we
can-
know
yeah.
who is coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
And the website.
And kudos to yes. Give us the details.
That's the All African Women Poetry Festival.com. So the whole name of the festival.com.
Okay.
On the website, and on social is AAWP Festival. AAWP Festival. Across all the social media platforms.
Okay. And if people are interested in you as a poet to engage you, how do they reach out to you?
It's Emma Ofusua, EMMAOFOSUA, Emma Ofusua, together on Instagram, on YouTube. You can send a message either way. I respond quickly.
Twitter? as
Twitter, Emma_Ofusua.
Okay, all right, fantastic. All right, fantastic. We've been speaking with Emma Ofusua, who is the founder of the All African Women Poetry Festival, and she herself is a fantastic poet. If you missed that, what she just did, well, you just have to go back on YouTube and find it and watch